Welcome to Life Pebbles. Learn about yourself and others. There are thousands of agreements we make with ourselves and with other people. But the most important agreements are the ones we make with ourselves. In these agreements, you tell yourself who you are, what you feel, what you believe, and how to behave. The result is what you call your personality. We have many agreements that make us suffer and fail in life. If you want to live a life of joy and fulfillment, you have to find the courage to break those agreements that are fear-based and to claim your personal power. If you can begin to live your life with these 4 agreements, the transformation in your life will be amazing. Agreement number 1, be impeccable with your word. The word is not just a sound or a written symbol. The word is a force. It is the power you have to express your thoughts, to communicate, and to create events in your life. Depending upon how it is used, the word can set you free, or it can enslave you even more than you know. Being impeccable with your word means not using the word against yourself and others. We often misuse the word, and this misuse is how we pull each other down and keep each other in a state of fear and doubt. Whenever we hear an opinion and believe it, we make an agreement, and it becomes part of our belief system. If we adopt the first agreement and become impeccable with our word, any emotional poison will eventually be cleaned from our mind and from our communication in our personal relationships. It is up to you to make this agreement with yourself. Be impeccable with your word. This is the first agreement that you should make if you want to be free, if you want to be happy. Use the word in the correct way. Use the word to share your love. Use the word beginning with yourself. Tell yourself how wonderful you are, how great you are. Tell yourself how much you love yourself. Use the word to break all those agreements that make you suffer. Agreement number 2, don't take anything personally. Whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. Nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves. Even when a situation seems so personal, even if others insult you directly, it has nothing to do with you. What they say, what they do, and the opinions they give are all according to the agreements they have in their own minds. Their point of view comes from all the programming they received in childhood. When you take things personally, then you feel offended, and your reaction is to defend your beliefs and create conflicts. You make something big out of something so little because you have the need to be right and make them wrong. You also try hard to be right by giving them your own opinions. In the same way, whatever you feel and do is just a projection of your own personal reality. Whatever you think, whatever you feel, I know is your problem and not my problem. It is the way you see the world. It is nothing personal because you are dealing with yourself, not with me. Others are going to have their own opinion according to their belief system. So nothing they think about me is really about me, but it is about them. If you keep this agreement, you can live your life with your heart completely open and no one can hurt you. Agreement number 3, don't make assumptions. It is very interesting how the human mind works. We have the need to justify everything, to explain and understand everything in order to feel safe. We have millions of questions that need answers because there are so many things that the reasoning mind cannot explain. It is not important if the answer is correct, just the answer itself makes us feel safe. This is why we make assumptions. We have the tendency to make assumptions about everything. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. We make an assumption, we misunderstand, we take it personally, and we end up creating a whole big drama for nothing. All the sadness and drama you have lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. Because we are afraid to ask for clarification, we make assumptions and believe we are right about these assumptions. Then we defend our assumptions and try to make someone else wrong. It is always better to ask questions than to make an assumption, because assumptions set us up for suffering. We only see what we want to see and hear what we want to hear. We don't perceive things the way they are. When we don't understand something, we make an assumption about the meaning, and when the truth comes out, we find out it was not what we thought it was at all. The way to keep yourself from making assumptions is to ask questions. Make sure the communication is clear. If you don't understand, ask. Also, find your voice to ask for what you want. Everybody has the right to tell you yes or no, but you always have the right to ask. Agreement number 4, always do your best. Under any circumstance, always do your best, no more and no less. But keep in mind that your best is never going to be the same from one moment to the next. Everything is changing all the time, so your best will sometimes be high quality, and other times it will not be as good. Your best will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick, or sober as opposed to drunk. Your best will depend on whether you are feeling wonderful and happy, or upset, angry, or jealous. In your everyday moods, your best can change from one moment to another, from 1 hour to the next, from one day to another. Your best will also change over time. As you build the habit of the 4 new agreements, your best will become better than it used to be. Doing your best is a great habit to have. We don't need to know or prove anything. Just to be, to take a risk and enjoy your life is all that matters. Say no when you want to say no, and say yes when you want to say yes. You have the right to be you. You can only be you when you do your best. The first 3 agreements will only work if you do your best. Don't expect that you will always be able to be impeccable with your word. Your routine habits are too strong and firmly rooted in your mind, but you can do your best. Don't expect that you will never take anything personally, just do your best. Don't expect that you will never make another assumption, but you can do your best. By doing your best, your old habits of misusing your word, taking things personally, and making assumptions will become weaker and less frequent with time. You don't need to judge yourself, feel guilty, or punish yourself if you cannot keep these agreements. If you are doing your best, you will feel good about yourself even if you still make assumptions, still take things personally, and still are not impeccable with your word. If you always do your best over and over again, you will become a master of transformation. Everything you have ever learned, you learned through repetition. Action is what makes the difference. You have to stand up and be a human. You have to honor the man or woman that you are. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best.